Hello, welcome back to Sense of Directions. I'm Dylan,
I'm Kevin.
and today we're talking about insurance. What is it? What does it mean? How do we use it?
Fun.
Um, so,
I feel like insurance is like grown-up talk.
grown-up talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, everyone has to become an adult at some point.
Yeah.
I actually just watched a weird Netflix show called Wayward, where I have some qualms with the story because it has good bones, like
Mm-hmm.
to be all like weird and supernatural. But like basically the premise is like, um, they take kids to this school and they basically reform them into adults, and like through that is um like everybody has trauma, and so like this woman who's created the school, which is like her flashback of like how she does all of this is like she
Mm-hmm.
was in a cult, like there was a
Oh,
cult,
nice.
so like we don't, anyways, the whole town that they live in, there's no children, like nobody's allowed to have kids, like nobody can have kids,
Also
all
China.
because of the school and how like kids endure trauma, therefore they pass on trauma, therefore
Yeah,
like
kids are the problem.
yeah, so they basically like takes their innocence away from them, and then there's something to do with frogs. I don't know. Like there's so many like things that could have made this like a really cool like
Mm-hmm.
like mystery or whatever, but they just said, "Here's the mystery and we'll never wrap it up."
Lovely.
So, I think it was like 8 episodes, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Damn.
So, with that being said, everybody will eventually have to deal with insurance. So let's figure out what the heck that means, okay? Um, I feel like the easiest way to describe it is basically you pay into a pot, kind of like poker or something, but yes,
Yeah.
gambling. And then whenever you have an incident or you need to use your insurance, like you get to use from the pot that everyone pays into.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's very like
Broad.
abstractly
Yeah.
defined. So one thing that I needed to learn myself is that there's a whole bunch of like common terms when talking about insurance that I feel
Yeah.
like we don't really know what they mean. So we're gonna kind of go over those. Then we're gonna talk about renter's insurance and then car insurance, some things you should think about or need to know when you're talking about those things. And then I threw in just I might as well say it now. There's this thing called inland marine policies, which kind of, you're like, inland marine, what? Water?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
And that kind of goes back to, think of like ships when they would bring these things to port. Like, that kind of goes back to like where they wanted to make sure that like if anything happened on the water, that they could just like still have the money that they spent to have either the ships or whatever their items were on the ships. So this now in today's world, because not
Is it shipping related or
there, it is for like businesses or if you have like machinery or something that's like coming from
being
overseas.
shipped?
But there's also, it's kind of like this umbrella term for just like extra protection for like really valuable stuff. And so I'll kind of just say that now because there's a whole bunch of other umbrella aspects to insurance.
Right.
You know, there's not one policy that covers everything, as I have learned. So,
Love it.
but before we dive into that, let's go into some common terms. We'll start with a premium, which is the payment that you make every month. I feel like they have all of these special words for things.
Yeah. So the premium is basically what you put into the pot, basically.
Yeah.
Over time, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then the policy is put it there, the pot that you're putting money into,
Yeah, it's like it's the rule book that says what the pot will and won't cover.
Yeah.
So like, because again, there is not a policy that covers everything. Even they call
Can't be too easy.
I feel like it was called like full coverage insurance when talking about like car insurance, but even that does not. It's misleading with full coverage. So You probably have heard a claim, like, with those progressive commercials or something, file a claim, whatever.
Yeah.
It's basically
A
the
request.
hey, something happened and I need to use insurance.
Yeah.
Can you help me? And then they decide whether or not they can help you or not.
One thing that does confuse me is deductible versus copay. Because they kind of sound like the same thing.
So yes, but a little bit different. I feel like copay is more for like health insurance, like if you're using it.
Like a doctor's visit, like you'll pay 50 and then they'll pay 70 or
Yeah,
whatever.
so my copay, I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. It says on the little card, I pay $40 for any time I visit like a doctor's office, just like blanket. And then that covers like if they ran a test or something that was like $75. Like I'm not paying for that test or something. And then obviously there are many little gray areas in insurance. So, but your deductible is basically just what you're paying each month or every year. Kind of the same thing because you pay each month or you pay at the end of the year. Which I feel like most people pay per month because if you just paid your lump sum at the end of the year, that's a little like, hey, at least you got some money.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. And then liability is coverage that protects you if you hurt someone or it like damage their property, or even like if someone got hurt like at your house or like if they were driving your car or something, which we'll kind of talk about that. And then specifically for car insurance, there is collision and comprehensive. I was about to say care, but collision pays for damage to your vehicle resulting from a collision, regardless of who's at fault. I believe that also happens like if you collide into a tree or something, or you run off the side of the road. That's part of the collision. Comprehensive covers damages that are not caused by a collision. So you did not run into something did not directly run into you. This is like if someone steals your car or breaks into your, breaks a window, if there's, natural disaster. Yes, exactly. My car that I had a few years ago, we had a really bad ice storm, and the apartments that I was living in had these beautiful giant trees that lined the sidewalk. And that ice storm, the tree fell on top of my car.
Like the full tree?
The full tree. Yeah, I couldn't go into work. Also, my boss was being like, I know the roads are icy, but like you need to come in. And I'm like, it's the mall. It's the mall who's coming. Why we're gonna get droves of people? I did, and they're like,
he was like, take the bus.
Like, okay.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that winter, and then my heat went out in that apartment, and I didn't have a couch, so I had these two like chairs like this, and I pushed them together, and I just had like
blankets
and comforter, and then I had a very small little like heater that was part of the fireplace that they closed off because it was like a really old building, like way back when it was someone's like rich house where they had little quarters. And then even then, like in the 50s, it got changed. No, I don't know when they decided when did a refrigerator get invented?
I want to say 40s.
Okay, well, whatever it is, in my apartment, like
maybe 30s.
The floors, there's 3 floors and maybe like 3 apartments on each side, so 6 for each floor, and then there's 2 that were in the basement, which I never saw them, but like they changed their door decorations all the time, so I was like, someone lives there.
Witches.
But they had this little cabinet in the dining room that was on the wall of the hallway, right? And you could back in the day open from the hallway side, and that's where they would like get their milk deliveries.
Dope.
When they had milk bins, so
it was kind of bring back milk bins, man.
But that apartment was It looked so cool, but like structurally there's so many issues. I had a leak in my kitchen that they wouldn't fix until they fixed the roof, but the guy who fixed the maintenance guy didn't talk to like the people who owned the building were
Yeah.
like in Kansas. So no one had like a person here. And so the maintenance guy was just like, they don't answer my calls, so I don't know when they're gonna fix the roof, therefore I don't know when I can fix your ceiling. I was like, okay.
That sucks.
Yeah. And then I moved out of there. And then they started to update everything. I was like,
Well, that's
okay.
good.
Anyways,
Would that fall into renter's insurance then? Like your leaky roof or
I don't think so because when you are renting an apartment, so renter's insurance really just covers kind of like the stuff inside of your apartment.
oh, so it's your stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you have like a quote unquote landlord, they are supposed to take on the responsibilities of like building upkeep. But renter's insurance, they can also help with like liability coverage. So if someone like slips and falls in your apartment or wherever you're renting, they can't sue you because you have liability coverage. They can't be like, well, Kevin spilled milk on the floor and I didn't see and I broke my back and I want him to pay for my medical bills. Your insurance is like,
I'd be like, actually that's
no.
Highland's problem because they make their milk very slippery.
Yes. So renter's insurance does cover, it does not always cover like natural disaster stuff like floods, earthquakes, fires, things like that. Sometimes you have to add on like coverage. I would say the best way to know what you need out of your renter's insurance is just kind of take an inventory of your stuff. How much is all your stuff? How much is your couch worth? How many TVs do you have? Do you have a camera? Do you have musical instruments? Do you have grandma's ring? Like, you know, or maybe you're like a cook, chef, something, you know, you have really expensive pots and pans, knives, you know, like whatever it is to you, like whatever your valuables are.
Collectibles.
Yeah, collectibles. Which, you know, it seems a little weird to like catalog your entire life basically.
Yeah.
But honestly, if something ever were to happen, you would know exactly how much like loss you would have, you know, which doesn't.
And I feel like more goes into the inventory than just like writing it down. I'm sure you have to like take photos or
oh yeah, you have to
get
like,
serial numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
I get the gist of it.
Yeah. And then some things when it comes to like jewelry and or art and things like that, your insurance company might want you to get it like
appraised.
Yeah, professionally appraised or something, which I feel like there's gotta be some sort of appraisal fee for like the person who does that.
Oh,
so
definitely.
like, you know, there's some added expenses for that, but honestly, you're covering your butt if anything bad were to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Side note, what is that show that they would do appraisals and it was like
Antiques Roadshow. Yeah.
Dude.
And some people didn't even know what they had.
I know.
And like that was like my favorite part. There was also like I used to watch Pawn Stars.
Yeah, dude.
But
that was primetime TV right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the shop in Vegas.
In Vegas, did you? Did you see him?
I did not see him. But they did have a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah. So.
I mean, that kind of ties into the next thing, which is replacement cost versus actual cash value, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Replacement cost pays you to buy brand new items. Your actual cash value. Actually, replacement cost pays you to buy brand new items, and that's like I had a 50-inch TV. That's a big TV. I don't know. I had a 50-inch TV. I had, you know, a built-in stereo or something.
Sound system.
So they're just like, okay, based off of the average of what a 50-inch TV goes for, you can buy that.
Yeah, with this.
You know? So, like, they're just going off of, like... an
average?
Yeah. Whereas the actual cash value pays you what your used stuff is worth today, which is usually less. So, actually, yeah. Replacement cost is probably a little bit better because maybe you had like a really old something or something that probably was like worn down, and then now you get to buy something a little bit nicer. Um, but then yeah, going back to kind of what a deductible is, you're out of pocket before your insurance kicks in. It is you'll hear like the higher the deductible, the lower the monthly premium, but more money up front if something happens to you.
Yeah.
So like what you're paying into the pot monthly might be more.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. And then it's only if something happens.
I know.
So it's kind of like, well, I don't want anything to happen. But if something does, you're
Kind of feels like a double-edged sword.
yeah. I feel like that's just kind of the market of insurance. It seems
Yeah.
a little
It's very...
sketchy and gross. But at the same time, like, it helps you, so, you know.
Yeah.
That's with all things in life,
It's like,
right?
it's just revolving around anxiety, I feel like. It's like, something could happen, you know?
But it should ease your anxiety, because then, like, if anything does happen,
I
like,
guess.
you know, you'll be
you're right.
prepared. So, yeah. Make sure that you have, like, your monthly budget in mind, because usually your insurance is paid monthly.
Yeah.
Renter's insurance is probably one of the cheaper insurances that you'd pay in. They're usually about 10 to 25. I think the last renter's policy that I had was like $12 a month.
Yeah, it's usually...
But I just had like a very basic policy. I did not do the inventory check. I did not, you know, really do that. So if you want to make sure that you can rebuy your whole closet or your stuff.
I feel like not renter's insurance, but home insurance, not to get too deep into it, but I feel like in Oklahoma, at least, it's pretty... I mean, we have tornadoes every year. Like, that's probably worst case scenario when it's like...
You know, that would probably have been a good thing for me to research, because I know from a like celebrity home tour back in California, okay, right?
You?
Okay, yeah, I was a kid. My aunt and grandma wanted to go on it. We learned that in California, they do not like renter or no, I'm sorry, like earthquake insurance is something that's like separate. Like, it's not included in their home insurance, but you'd be like, what? They have earthquakes all the time. Like, what? Why is that? Because they can make more money off the people who want to be covered by that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, are tornadoes covered in Oklahoma homeowners insurance?
I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't.
A separate cost? I don't know. I did not think about that. So great question.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that's something that you should keep in mind when you're thinking about insurance, is that nothing fully covers you. If you want to be fully covered, you have to take an account of what you want to be covered, you know? Yeah. That being said, let's get into some car insurance. One thing I found is that every state has a different, like, requirement of how much coverage you should have. So for Oklahoma, you have to have a policy that can cover you up to $25,000 for bodily injury, $50,000 for bodily injury liability per accident. Okay, so that was something. Okay, so there's a maximum amount per claim, and then different policies will have limits on how many claims you can submit each year. So you can have one claim entered, and it will cover you to the $25,000. But then if you submit 3 claims and your policy only allows you to submit 2, if you can't submit 3 because they won't allow you to. So make sure you kind of read the fine print, or hopefully maybe your insurance adjuster is nice enough to like explain things to you. But I would say, just off of like known a little bit behind the scenes of like insurance adjusters, there's not much that they can really explain to you because they're trying to get you to pay money.
Yeah.
So it's just best to kind of like do the research on like how your life fits, like, you know, what I'm trying to say.
What she's trying to say is just be careful.
Yeah. Well, like, you know,
and do your research.
Yeah, do your research. You know, like for
Which, I don't know, those insurance policies, because my work, I didn't go through my work to get insurance, but they come through every year. I'm probably going to have to do it next year just because of this broken foot. But the insurance policy packets are fucking like thick as hell.
Yeah.
And it's just like you gotta put your glasses on and really read that thing.
And then just kind of like keep track of like what your lifestyle has. You know, like what you know, if you drive a lot versus someone who like maybe they walk places more than they drive their car, like the person who drives a lot more probably needs
good insurance.
A little bit different coverage, you know?
Yeah.
So just like keep in mind that not every policy fits everybody's lifestyle. Like it's not a one size fits all, and you can totally customize what you want. I feel like I hear that a lot on like insurance
every ad
commercials, but like truly customize it to fit your needs.
Who do you think has the best ads?
Oh, I feel like Progressive.
I feel like State Farm has kind of been pretty annoying lately.
Yeah.
Progressive, I think once they lost. Wait, they still have Flow, don't they?
They still have Flow. They've added. They have like a little.
I don't think anything beats the Gecko, man.
Okay, there's
Liberty Mutual is also pissing me off because.
Oh, with the emu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, because there's a commercial. Because I have Netflix with ads because you know.
Yeah, because
we're
not
like
gonna pay $20 for that.
And they do a lot of Liberty Mutual commercials, and it's just like him trying. He's already in.
You can tell they're trying to like target like Gen Z or whatever by being like all like quirky and like crazy, but it's like, come on, dude, like.
Yeah. And then they also Anyways, commercials. Now that we've talked about them, like I have a whole bunch like in my brain of like, yeah, and then this one and that's annoying and like this one doesn't make sense. But I feel like the weirder they are, the more you like remember them.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
So
damn. So they actually are working.
Yeah. But do I know which one is better? No, I don't even know how much their like prices are worth.
Also, I will. Whenever you're looking up insurances, I made the mistake when I was looking for car insurance. I made the mistake of going to one of those websites where it's like, put in your information and we'll give you like we'll tell you what each one's going to cost you. And I still get like phone calls to this day of like, hey.
When you do those, because those websites are tricky, they're like, it's free, you get a free estimate, whatever. But what they're really doing is sending your information out to all insurance companies or whatever you're looking for, because I'm sure there's other things outside of insurance that does that. Like for loans, that happened.
The funny thing is, though, I put in a fake name, and now like, I get text messages and like calls, and like I forgot, it was like a dumb name. I forgot. I have to look into it. But like one day I looked at the text message, I was like, who the fuck is this person? Like, this is not who I am. And then I was like, oh, I remember. It was like a woman's name and like a terrible last name. I have to look it up.
What's like the school kid, like, you know, like.
The school kid?
Like, you know, like when you were in school, like kids would like mess with the substitute teacher
put like
stuff and
bad names.
Yeah.
I know a bunch, but I can't think of anyone. A lot of them are inappropriate though, so I don't want to say them.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, and then there's always the like Key and Peele, like him being the substitute.
Aaron?
Yeah. Aaron. Okay.
Anyways.
Let's wrap up this car insurance stuff. I feel like we kind of covered like
deductibles and all that.
Yeah. But it's also we clarified that you should tailor your policies to your specific needs. Yes, you should kind of listen to whoever's you're going through, like your insurance broker. Is it a broker or
I don't know.
agent? I
But
don't know. We'll say
also,
agent.
there are some requirements too, because like the new and finance cars, like I have a finance car, so I have to have full coverage. So it's
Yeah.
also you do want to know what is required too, so you're not.
Yes, exactly.
know.
You want to make sure that you're not gonna get a ticket for
Yeah.
not having the right insurance or something, because that report can suck. Because not only then would you have to pay your ticket, and then now you have to like pay for more insurance or
Yeah.
something. I would say for older cars, they might not need collision or comprehensive policies just because it could potentially cost more than what the car is worth. With that being said, if you're in a state that requires you to have some sort of collision or comprehensive, because every state's different, just kind of get like, if it is older, then get like the lowest, coverage, because you're
Yeah.
not, if something happens, that the clunker's gonna go away. And then there is gap insurance. Gap insurance is covers the gap amount if you are paying off a loan. So like it pays the gap between how much you still owe on your car and how much the car's value is worth. So if you owe more on your loan than the actual cost value, gap insurance can pay the difference on that.
That's nice.
Yeah. Then there's also these other like kind of additive policies that you can do, like accident forgiveness, rideshare insurance. If you are an Uber or Lyft, you have to have separate insurance. There is a separate thing for you being a rideshare person. And then there's also something about full glass coverage, where not all policies will like cover you if a rock hits your windshield and cracks open your windshield or something. And then there's also something that you can add on there for rental car reimbursement, because maybe not every dealership or car place, like if you have to have maintenance or something to work on your car, will provide you with an extra vehicle. So if that is super important to you to have a vehicle consistently, maybe you should add that if that's not already something that either your dealership or insurance covers.
Yeah.
Then the last thing I'll say about car insurance is that not every car insurance offers roadside assistance. So I'm sure you've heard of like AAA, which is kind of like a third-party system, but it will probably cover more than what your insurance policy or insurance provider will provide you in roadside assistance. So they might like be like, okay, you get a free tow or something. With AAA, they'll give you a tow. They will come to you if you ran out of gas, like if you lock your keys in your car, like they do a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I have that, but that's more of because my parents have that. And I will say, if you are like a single person who wants to get AAA and then eventually you start to have more people in your household or something, or you start your own family, each person gets a lower amount than like what the initial person pays. So like if first person to go start a policy with AAA, they pay, I don't know, $40 or something. And then their spouse is now $20.
Yeah.
And then their kid is like
$10.
$10, So it's honestly kind of nice. I'll say that. So just kind of look into what you need in your lifestyle, if it's important, like what's important to you.
Is there do you want to end it on why it's important to have it?
I think it's just kind of important to...
Life is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're using insurance because something bad happened. You are having a bad day or week or whatever.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that whatever that bad day or week is, like, can come out somewhat positively, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to sit there and then just get told like, oh yeah, what you've been paying each month won't cover you at all for this flood in your basement, or Or like what happened to me with the tree falling on my car. You know, that I think I
Did it cover it?
I think it did cover
Okay.
it. I just had to pay. The problem with that is when I took my car in to get like fixed, the collision place that I took it to, that my insurance company recommended me to take it to. Took like almost 3 months to get it back to me, and then it was like, okay, guys, you've had this car for way too long. Like, what is taking so long? And they kept being like, oh, the parts we ordered is taking long. Oh, we ordered the wrong part. And I was like, okay, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And like, I need my car. And then to this day, I have the back of my side mirror is not like correct. Like, it doesn't match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because was like, what are we waiting on? And they're like, we're waiting on your side mirror. And then I was like, okay,
Fuck it.
just call me when you get it in. I need my car. And then I forgot that interaction happened until like a couple years later. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what's wrong with my mirror. Yeah. I did have a fun little segment for us to kind of end it on, but I feel like we've gone a long time, so I don't know if we still want to do that. I could speed round it.
I'm down.
Okay. Folks, today we have true false statements about insurance. So I'll just kind of go.
Pick the most obscure one.
Okay.
Well, no, never mind. Just do whatever.
True false. Travel insurance can cover medical emergencies.
True?
Yes.
Okay.
You can insure Pokemon cards.
That has to be true.
Yes.
Because they're valuable.
Yes. Whatever your collection is, you can insure the value of your collection. There's something called collectible insurance services that will reimburse you if your items are stolen, broke, lost, or if it gets lost in the mail or natural disasters. So that's kind of cool. And then also for the travel insurance covers medical emergencies, because I've always heard of travel insurance, but like nobody.
Yeah, I've always heard of it, but I never knew what.
But if you decide to get travel insurance, it can reimburse you for lost or damaged property, stolen property on your trip, as well as if your trip is canceled or delayed. And then it can also help with medical emergencies that occur while traveling, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's smart.
Okay.
Food poisoning.
If someone else drives your car, they cover any damage.
The person driving?
Yeah.
False.
Yes.
I wish, though. That'd be nice.
Car insurance follows the car, not the driver. So if you loan your car out to a friend and they cause an accident, your policy will be the primary insurance. Mm-hmm. And not every policy covers that. So there might be a policy that's like, oh, you weren't the one driving your car? Yeah, well, that's on you. We don't cover that. So
probably penalize you, too.
Yeah. Okay, the color of your car matters for insurance premiums.
Yes.
False.
No?
No. It is a myth that red cars are more expensive to insure. What they go off of for premiums is the make and model of your car, its age, your driving history, and then sometimes where you live.
Okay, that makes sense.
Pet insurance can cover damage to furniture.
No?
True.
Really?
Yes. Pet insurance can help cover dental damaged, like I just said, damaged goods, accidental deaths, illness, and even if your pet goes missing. Pet insurance
costs... Does it buy you a new pet?
Kind of, yeah. And I was like, that's fucked up. But pet insurance costs on average $46 a month, which seems a little...
Dude, honestly, I didn't even know pet insurance was a thing, honestly.
You love your pet, yeah. And it's different for, like, if you have a bird versus if you have a dog. I saw that if you have a cat, it's cheaper than if you have a dog.
Oh, yeah, because dogs are better than cats.
Yeah. But I have a friend who she had, like, a crazy thing happen. Ended up, like, her dog really needed a surgery. and the surgery itself was $5,000, and she had already had several vet visits before that one. So like, if she had pet insurance, this would have
Yeah.
helped cover some of those bills.
True.
Okay, life insurance is only for the elderly.
False.
Yes. Some think that life insurance only benefits beneficiaries after death, but certain policies can build cash values for the policyholder. So kind of acts like a 401k-ish. So cash value life insurance, also known as permanent life insurance. Cash value builds up in your permanent life insurance policy because your premiums are split into 3 categories. One goes towards the death benefit. One is to the insurer's costs and profits, because, they always got to take a little something on the top. And then 3 is the policy's cash value. So again, like it just goes.
Yeah.
So if you got it today versus if you got it in, 20 years from now, you would have more money today if you did that. And
Good to
then
know.
I would say the most fun thing, I already told you this, so that's why I'm saying it's fun, but insurance was created because of pirates.
It makes sense.
Yes.
So I guess people are getting robbed and they're just like...
Yes. Traders wanted protection from loss and theft, so they came up with a primitive form of insurance. And then I will also note the oldest company, or one of the oldest companies that did insurance, was called the Lloyds of London, which to this day...
That's a good name, not gonna lie.
Yeah. They have this thing called spook safe insurance, which covers death, injury, damage, and damage by the paranormal, including vampire and werewolf attacks. And also, like, ghost, like, poltergeisty things.
Well, now we know it's a scam.
And that is just kind of, like... I wonder, like, back in the day... like,
Lloyds of London.
Did they get to pay more because they were, didn't really know much? Like...
Yeah.
But I just found that kind of fun. And, like, what a crazy thing that insurance...
What happens if you get attacked by Bigfoot, though? It's not covered.
It's a separate policy.
I guess.
Separate policy. They have a Bigfoot policy. No, do they have Bigfoots in London?
Dude, Bigfoot's international.
Yeah, I think it just needs a forest.
Yeah, basically.
So,
well,
that has been insurance. Hopefully you learned a little something, and now you know what to think and look for when you are getting a policy. Yes. And definitely shop around, because every company offers different things and what is provided in their most basic policy. And don't let them trick you with full coverage. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
You will not be fully covered.
Always read the fine print.
Unless you add and pick and choose. It's kind of like remember those like old games where you could be like, it gave you like, like 10 different personality qualities, and then they gave you like, I don't know, like 15 little... I wanted to say bubbles because it was a digital game, but like, and then you could be like, oh, I want to be athletic, so I'm gonna put like 2 athletics, but I want to be really smart, and so I'll put 3 smart, and I want to dance, I'll put 1 dance or something. I don't know.
I never played that, but
I don't know how to describe it. So, anyways, hope you have a wonderful weekend or day, week. Whenever you watch those. So, bye.
Bye-bye.